Hi folks, welcome to my video. I am your host, the J-Man, and today we'll probably be talking about the King Kong versus Godzilla. Actually, the movie's called Godzilla vs. Kong, and long time coming, long time anticipation for this film. Definitely a big budget movie. Really excited to talk about it, so go ahead and ask me some questions.
Okay. What did you think of the movie's cast and the performances that they did? I know you liked some of the others, the older movies, so give me your opinion on that.
Right. Okay, so the cast this time, I felt, okay, there's a couple of reoccurring characters. You got, obviously, Millie Bobby Brown's character, the girl from the Godzilla King of the Monsters. Her father plays a minor role, and even her role has been, I think, somewhat reduced. And then we got her friend, who's just this boy. He's like this typical nerd kind of, and the conspiracy theorist guy, who's got like the podcast going and everything. There's him. He's basically comedic relief, and they're kind of all sort of towards Godzilla's side of things, and you have Kong's side of things. It's pretty much a clear split with the cast. If you're not a villain, then you're either a Godzilla side or Kong side. And the Kong side of things is you have the little deaf girl, native to the island, her surrogate mother, and then Alexander Skarsgård's character, who's a scientist, and then you have the evil corporation people who are behind the scenes trying to get to the energy source. So there's a lot of cast, but none of them are really memorable or very distinct or interesting characters. The acting is fine, but the roles that they play, just there's nothing there. They didn't give them any good material. Alexander Skarsgård in particular, a much more popular actor, higher price tag. You would think that they would give him something significant to do. Now, from what I understand, he had a backstory about his brother and his wife that got cut out of the movie for whatever reason, and they just told him, you're the same character, but the audience will never know about this stuff. So, what's he supposed to do with that? I feel sorry for him, but he did okay with what they gave him. All the cast did okay with the material, but it just wasn't anything there. Stereotypical bad guys doing bad guy stuff, and the conspiracy theorist guy was supposed to be comic relief, but I felt like he was trying too hard. This guy seems completely unknown. Why didn't they go with more of a established comedian? So I didn't like him very much. He wasn't really funny. He had decent chemistry with the kids, but it didn't amount to much of anything. That really, my biggest complaint is that the characters had very little significance to the story. So pretty much a letdown. I mean, compared to Kong Skull Island, which I thought the characters were really good in that movie, very well defined, very unique. You got some big budget actors in Kong Skull Island. This one was really lacking, so very disappointed with that.
Okay. I can agree with you on that, by the way. I felt the same way.
Especially with
Skull
Skarsgård.
Island,
I mean,
yeah.
after his role as Tarzan,
I
you
know.
give him something to do here.
Right. I was very disappointed in that, and there was really no one memorable at all.
Yeah.
So,
Very unfortunate.
okay. Well, that kind of tells a lot about this next question, but you can elaborate. What did you think of the tone and the setting?
Okay, so we're back in pretty much the same, Skull Island, I guess now is like a simulated Skull Island. It's not actually Skull Island, which I'm confused about. Did they move Kong away from Skull Island for some reason? Or they just put like a computer barrier around? I don't know. But we don't spend very much time there. Then he's at sea, and there's a big battle at sea, and then he goes to Antarctica and goes through the portal to the Hollow Earth, and that's just like basically a fantasy jungle land environment. And then they're back in Tokyo. They're in Tokyo fighting it out to the end. So that's the setting. Nothing wrong with the setting. Obviously, Hollow Earth was really interesting and unique, and we hadn't seen that before. That was cool. I liked Hollow Earth the best. Other than that, nothing really stands out. Tokyo was, I guess that's what Tokyo looks like. A lot of neon lights. There were just too many, in my opinion. Way too much. And not just in Tokyo, but all throughout the movie were these neon cyan and magenta. It didn't feel like it belonged in there. That brings me to the tone of the movie. And the genre was really starting to shift towards space age, sort of cyberpunk sci-fi, which I think this guy has a preference for. The director kind of leans toward that. I think he's heavily influenced by sci-fi stuff like Back to the Future, he mentioned. So he wanted to get that real techno, new age feel to it for some reason. Maybe because that's what's going on in Japan. That's really popular. I'm not sure. I don't think it was a good choice for this movie. He made it more of a sci-fi thing, like a journey to the center of the earth, which is cool and everything. I like that. But yeah, just the neon lights and all this weird lighting and special effects filters. I really hated that. Way too many lens flares. All these like solar flares and camera effects that you would get from strange lighting. I think it just kind of blurs out the characters and hinders the viewpoint, confuses the view. So I didn't like that. But otherwise, the tone was good. It was right. Not too serious, not too dark, and something that kids can enjoy. Mm-hmm. Also, they have a tendency to get really emotional, and they didn't do that this time. It was a little bit emotional, but not too melodrama, which I like that. It was good. Good balance.
Right.
Next question, please.
How was Kong and Godzilla represented in the fight scene?
I feel like they were represented really well all throughout the movie, not just the fights, but you have the director made the choice to go with an older King Kong, which I can understand that. After the Vietnam era, he's obviously aged quite a bit, 35, 45 years, something like that. He's got the beard now, more scars, he's larger. You can tell he's a more mature Kong. I really love the younger Kong, but this Kong was cool too. More emotional, more vulnerable. A good choice for the movie, especially because they wanted to have Kong in the role of like the good guy that you're cheering, kind of like the underdog, and he was. Kong was portrayed very well. Kong has a compassionate side, very compassionate side. So I like that they did that. And Godzilla, typical Godzilla. So good there. And the fighting, really good. Kong fought the way he's supposed to fight, like a gorilla would fight. And pretty much the same thing goes for Godzilla. I did notice that when they were fighting, though, Kong threw a real heavy punch and knocked Godzilla back some. But then Godzilla threw a punch, not really a punch, but more like a swipe, and that knocked King Kong out like flat. And I was thinking, that's not right, because Godzilla has a smaller arm, it's not as long, it doesn't have the shoulder muscle that Kong has, he can't put as much weight into it. I didn't feel like that was, good.
Wasn't realistic. Really,
no, if anything, it would have sliced Kong and some blood would come, but not knock him backwards.
Right.
Especially when Kong's huge fist didn't knock Godzilla back on his back. But other than that, I think the fighting was really well done. Not too much gore, which was a good idea, a good choice if you're going for more of a kid-friendly movie. And that's fine. So I really like the fight scenes. Good choreography there, or whatever you want to call it. The personalities of Kong and Godzilla were right on point. I don't have any arguments there. So it was very refreshing to see that.
Good. So it basically met your expectations.
Yeah.
The fight.
With the fighting and the portrayal
right.
of, the characterization of those two monsters.
Right.
Really well done.
Which is really what we wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
That part of it, but
oh yeah,
wanted a lot more than that, but we did want to see that.
Right.
How was the storyline throughout the movie? Was it realistic or not? throughout
Okay,
the movie.
so I mean, about as realistic as you could expect from this type of movie. It's just the story definitely took a backseat, and they kind of, waxed it to just kind of. The details don't add up. They don't quite make sense. What is this mysterious or vague power source that they're referring to on the Hollow Earth? Why do they want it so bad? How do they even know what it does? That was all very swept under the rug. Um, and then they get there and they find the power source, but what is it? It's just a glowing, I guess, radiation energy. But why do they want it so bad? It's just kind of silly because all they want to do is power up this giant robot that's, ridiculously, absurdly expensive, and they want to kill Godzilla, I guess, to prove a point, but it's kind of stupid if you think about it too much. And really, the movie doesn't want you to think about it. They just want you to enjoy monsters fighting, which is good. That should be the focus. But you can't just gloss over all the details of the plot. Like, okay, you have this energy source that they want to use to further power up Mechagodzilla because they think, he's just not powerful enough, which is kind of absurd to think that. But, okay, so they want this power source so that they can use Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla is really forced into the story, into the plot. Like, he has no purpose of being there other than we want Mechagodzilla. It would have been make a lot more sense if they had just shown that there's a monster in, let's say, Hollow Earth that exists there, and he's a big, huge threat. He's hostile, and that was the thing that was agitating Godzilla, causing Godzilla to go berserk. Instead of this stupid robot. I mean, Mechagodzilla's cool and everything, but they just forced him into this movie. So that's how I feel about it.
Okay.
The story, more about the story. Hold on, more about the story. So they want to go into Hollow Earth.
Right.
Mainly because, number one, the evil corporation people want the energy source. Number two, Skarsgård, the scientist, he wants, I guess, redemption and, just out of sheer scientific curiosity, wants to see what Hollow Earth looks like. And number three, the King Kong people want to give King Kong a new home. So that's the reason they go there. Okay, fine. That's okay. It's all right. It's not particularly good, but that's the story.
Okay, well, talking about Hollow Earth, as long as we're talking about that, did you feel there was something lacking there with King Kong? I mean, he comes in and he sits on the throne, and yet we don't really get what's really, happening or going on. This was his family's home,
Right,
or whatever.
yeah.
And
You would expect to see some evidence that there were creatures like a gorilla type characters like him there.
right.
And we don't get any of that. He
And
just gets there and he's like, yeah, this feels right. It feels like my home. I belong here.
Yeah.
But we as an audience, we're like, why?
Yeah. What does that? I'm saying, what does that lead that for us? How does that, lead into this? Like, we're waiting to see something, and yet he picks up something that had been laid down there, like humans had been
Right.
there or whatever.
Yeah, it seemed kind of rushed. Like
The axe,
they weren't sure of how to do that in the story, and they ran out of time, or they ran out of budget, and they just, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's very unfortunate. I think that they will need to follow up on that in the future, but who knows for sure. Who knows if they'll actually do it. But, yeah, that kind of leaves a gap or a hole in the story.
Okay. So how did you feel about Mechagodzilla?
Mechagodzilla?
At the end, coming in and...
Not bad. He's pretty cool. We've seen so many giant robot movies by this point. We're used to a more sophisticated robot. Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't incredible or anything, but yeah, kind of cool.
Okay. Well, let's, overall, what do you think? How would you rate this movie?
Overall, I give it about an 8 out of 10. That's being pretty generous. Just because I love Godzilla and King Kong so much, and they got the characters right, and the action scenes, the fighting was really well done. The visuals, beautiful, fun, exciting movie. Other than that, not much else. Just a fun ride. So overall, pretty good. It's just that we've seen this type of movie by now so many times. It feels like so it's not like really. It doesn't really give you that incredible high because we've seen this type of movie. We've seen Pacific Rim. We've seen Rampage. Other giant monster movies. There's been quite a few. So yeah, this movie doesn't present a whole lot that's unique and different and new. So, but it does everything well. It's good, that's for sure, and it's pretty satisfying. With Godzilla winning, I wanted a little bit more of a even Steven between the two of them, but I can get on board with Godzilla winning because I definitely think there'll be a rematch. Yeah, so I get my stamp of approval. Like I said, 8 out of 10. How did you feel?
Pretty much about the same. Yeah, I still enjoyed it. You know, there were parts of it that I didn't like as well, and I still came out lacking when they went to Hollow Earth. I just felt like there was something that needed to be exposed a little bit more.
Right.
So, but overall, yeah, really pretty good. Definitely.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to hearing your comments. See you next time.